Hey guys, Danielle here. I know, a second video in one day, but you guys know how this goes. When I'm actively trying to avoid doing work for school or whatever, I tend to make more videos. So here I am trying to do that very thing. But I also have something really important on my mind, and I wanted to bring it to you and hopefully try to counter some of the irresponsible behavior going on in the fragrance community right now. So I'm sure you've seen there are well-known fragrance reviewers out there who are openly advocating for this concept of overspraying. Um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, and I didn't really think twice about it. I mean, I had my gripes with it when I first saw it in some of the bigger videos, but now I see other people in the fragrance community who review fragrances who might have a degree of influence, making videos encouraging people to overspray. And I have a couple things to say about it. First of all, I have a really big fragrance collection. You guys have probably seen it. I have hundreds of bottles, not an exaggeration. I wear fragrance pretty much everywhere I go. I try to always make it a point to smell good. And I enjoy wearing fragrance. Even if I'm wearing, just sitting around in my apartment doing work, I'll wear a perfume. It's actually often where I do a little mixology, try to see if things work together, or if I like something that I've recently purchased, even though I haven't been purchasing. But I digress. Um, the idea of overspraying has a couple of issues that it brings to the table for the fragrance community. First of all, it's incredibly rude. I'm just going to put it out there. It's so rude. I don't need to smell you when you walk into the room, okay? I enjoy smelling somebody who's wearing a nice fragrance as much as anybody, but even though I'm a fragrance collector and enthusiast, I still have a couple of conditions that are exacerbated by people wearing too much fragrance. One of them is migraines. I actually got my very first migraine ever on an airplane coming back from Europe. There was somebody sitting in front of me wearing kind of like an Amoureige type, like sweet, thick fragrance. Instantly gave me a headache. I was sick the entire plane ride over. Somebody in the Chicago airport finally gave me like a Max Salt or like a medication. My parents were with me. I was probably 12 or 13. I was in such agony. I had been throwing up on the plane on the way over. And my parents were like, I think they probably figured at that point, like, you could be giving her acid and we'd be okay with it as long as she feels better. But that was my first migraine induced by fragrances. And I've had plenty of other headaches that are like that have been caused by people's fragrances. Usually it's not a fragrance, but it's how much is worn of it. And in this case, that woman's fragrance probably wouldn't have been so bad if she hadn't been wearing so much of it and been on an airplane. There are also people who have really bad allergies. I'm one of them as well. I have to try out fragrances usually before I buy them to make sure that they're not going to flare my allergies. I'll give you an example. I think I've become allergic to Parfums de Marly Delina because whenever I wear it, I get like my throat gets sore, my nose gets runny, I feel soreness in my nasal passages. And I usually only wear one or two sprays max of Delina. So I can't even imagine if somebody was wearing, say, 15 sprays. There are people with asthma, COPD, other cardiopulmonary conditions. And frankly, there are also just people who don't want to be drowned in a cloud of fragrance. Okay, so for me, and this is just me again, fragrance is for personal enjoyment and the enjoyment of the people in my immediate circle. Okay, as long as I'm wearing it, I'm happy. And if I smell good, I'm happy. If somebody hugs me or comes within a few feet of me and they tell me that I smell good, like it makes me happy. But I don't need compliments. Okay, and I think a lot of what bothers me about this whole thing is that I see this this obsessive need in the fragrance community to be complimented. Because to me, that's just a lack of self-esteem. And so, like, compounding the whole needing to be complimented thing is this overspraying thing, because the only possible purpose of overspraying is to get noticed and to have people make a comment on what you're wearing. But if you're wearing so much of a cologne or a perfume or any other kind of fragrance, you're going to be noticed, but for the wrong reasons. Okay. You do not need 15 sprays plus of a fragrance in order for people to notice you. If you're concerned about the longevity of a fragrance, decant a little bit for yourself and take it with you and refresh once in a while. There is no need, I repeat, no need to drown yourself and the people around you in your fragrance. It's rude, it's inconsiderate, it's unnecessary, it's selfish, it's inconsiderate. Did I already say that? I mean, I can't say it enough how inconsiderate it is. Um, Especially because a lot of people who might be watching these videos don't understand the difference between maybe an EDT or an EDP or an extrait, and they might really go overboard and hurt people. So I implore you to think about this as not just a consideration issue, but like as a health risk as well. There are a lot of people out there who might be hurt by your inability to consider the fact that 15 sprays is entirely too much of anything. Um, this is a spray, a body mist. I would not spray this more than about 6 or 7 times on myself. And this is a body mist. So just take it in consideration. Ask yourself, what's the purpose of this? Why do I need to do it? How might it affect other people? I know that we're rapidly becoming a society where we don't really think about how our actions affect other people, but just try. There are some health implications here, and you might actually really be hurting somebody in your quest to fulfill some kind of silly challenge on YouTube where you drown yourself in a fragrance that the whole world doesn't want to smell. So that's my 2 cents on the whole overspraying craze. Um, just don't do it. It's stupid. It's unnecessary. It's rude. That's about it. Peace.